Stu Macher might be on his way back to the Scream franchise.
I'll be right back.
What is up, y'all? We are back with another video. What type of video? We're going to talk about some Scream 7 and some Stu Macher. But before we get into it, definitely smash the like button because it definitely helps. And let's try to get this video to 100 likes if you want some more Scream content over on the channel. So to get into it, I've touched on this in a previous video, but I want to bring up something that can definitely put some pieces together of Stu Macher returning. So to get into it, I told you guys about how I think with the recent films, they've been following alongside the previous, Scream films earlier in the franchise, basically 5 lining up with 1 and, 2 lining up with 6, and now we're at 3. Now, we've been hearing a lot of rumors and stuff when it comes to the Scream franchise with, a Ghostface cult targeting Sydney and, a lot of things with Colt. And we got a little teaser with a Colt and Scream 6 with the opening and everything. Now, I can definitely see this happening for numbers of reasons, just because it's something a little different. And it was an original plan at a point, with Scream 3, with Kevin Williams and everything. The original plan for Scream 3 was for a Ghostface cult to be involved and Stu Macher basically being, the leader of the cult. Now, gotta follow me. So we just talked about basically the previous Scream films connecting to the other ones from the franchise and doing hat tips and stuff like that, mimicking certain things. So what if they get deeper with their pattern they've been having with the previous Scream films, being that instead of getting, instead of pulling from the Scream 3 that's canon right now in the franchise, they actually pull from the original idea. What I mean is just giving us that original story that was in the works anyways. We got Kevin Williamson, we got Sydney back. This is the perfect time to do it. Just have Sidney Prescott back in the seat with Kevin Williamson as a director. I can definitely see Kevin Williamson definitely digging in, his past and bringing Stu Macher back with the original idea, because a lot of people were like, wanting to see that Matthew Lillard being the leader of, the Ghostface cult and everything. But we've been hearing rumors, nothing confirmed, about a Ghostface cult targeting Sydney. And I told you guys that in a previous video, it will make sense for that to happen, because you can't just throw like a random Ghostface at Sydney at this point in the story. We're 7 films in. Random motives is just not working no more, I think, in the Scream franchise. So I think a Ghostface cult can definitely work, especially with Stu Macher being the leader or being involved with some type of motivation for them to do it. I think that can definitely happen. I even said, what if they can't get Matthew Lillard and he's just like the face of the cult, where they're looking up to Stu Macher, they're like praising him and stuff like that, and they just want to do stuff, in honor of Stu Macher. But yeah, I definitely think this can be the one that Stu Macher returns in the Scream franchise, just because of the way it's set up with Kevin Williamson in the director's chair. We got Sidney Prescott back, and Courtney Cox is in the talks of coming back. It's just perfect to go back to those old days and get that old footing and everything. So I definitely think he can return. We also find out that Five Nights at Freddy's, has been delayed from July to the fall. That's another crazy thing, because it's so weird how it just got delayed out of nowhere. It got delayed, and at first it was on track, and we was like, yeah, and especially at the ending of Five Nights at Freddy's, guys, like how we saw, Matthew Lillard come and just bring out a little Stu Macher in certain scenes in the end. It definitely kind of gave me vibes that he could return back to the franchise. Maybe I'm just reaching, but you guys know what I mean. But I think that is very weird that it just kind of got delayed out of nowhere, like almost like Matthew Lillard has to do another project and then he could get back on the road with Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm just saying. But to get into it a little more, I think just overall, that's the best way to go, you know, with the Ghostface code or something connected with Leslie Macher. Just having that name Macher involved in the story, I think will, you know, bring a lot of more people into, you know, the film of Scream 7. I just don't see a random Ghostface being the one to kind of make this story more interesting and things like that. I mean, and you got Kevin Williamson in it. I think that's another thing that kind of was holding Matthew Lillard back. Just, it wasn't the same anymore for him. I think now that he sees Sidney's back in, you know, involved, and he has Kevin Williamson involved, it's almost like it's perfect. So I can definitely see Stu Macher coming back in this Scream, just off of just multiple points being shown, you know, from the delay of Five Nights at Freddy's, you know, the original idea of Scream 3, and, you know, Stu Macher being a Ghostface cult leader. I think this is the time to even do that idea, because now that we did Scream 5, which was, you know, technically connected to like 1, and then 2 is like with 6, you know, with everything with the theater and all the callbacks. I think with 3, it's not going to be like that sibling connection everyone's looking for, like with Roman and Sidney, and it's all in California. I don't think that's the route they're going to go. I think they're going to dig a little deeper and bring that cult front line, how they did in 6, kind of like they kind of touched on it lightly, you know, with everything in Scream 6 with the opening. And I think they're going to go full-blown cult in Scream 7, just off the fact that it's there. The opportunity is there, and it makes sense for a cult to kind of just target Sidney off of her just being, you know, lasting so long through all these Ghostface, you know, events and everything and these issues. She's just been surviving and keeping her head above water. So I think I can definitely see just someone leading the Ghostface cult, even if it's not Stu Macher, and they're just targeting Sidney because they just want her gone, because they're doing it in memory of Stu Macher. I even touched on in my previous video. Even if they involve Billy Loomis, they could do something like that. Overall, I definitely think that Stu Macher could potentially be involved in Scream 7. Nothing's confirmed. This is just speculation and theories at this point. But I think if you're going to bring Stu back, this is the time to bring him back. This is the time to get him involved. And I even think, look, I'm going to say this before we end. This is just me being a Scream fan, bro. From Scream 5 all the way from Dewey's death with Amber. Yeah, they said, yeah, that was Amber for sure. It was really Amber. Even with Liana Liberato as Quinn, you know, attacking Gail. Bro, I just don't see that being them gals. I just don't see that being them. Seriously, though, on a serious note, I don't see Amber being the one to take out, you know, Dewey. I don't see it, you know, being Quinn and one attacking Gail. I just don't see it. You know, they're saying like, no, that's them. That's literally Liana Liberato, and you know, that's them being Ghostface. But it just didn't aim up with the height difference and everything, that just them being super athletic. I know, you know, we got the one who plays Ghostface, Max. Big shout out to Max. I think that it could potentially be a door open right there. Like, that would be crazy. Could you imagine that the whole time it being revealed it was a Stu Macher? Like, it was just Stu Macher behind a lot of the little plot holes we seen in the previous Scream films, or someone connected to Stu. It was just another Ghostface through everything behind the scenes the whole time. I think that would be crazy, but that's just me just speculating and having fun as a Scream fan. But overall, the main thing is the Ghostface cult. I think there's no other way to do it, to be honest, especially if we're getting these big names like, you know, Patrick Dempsey as Mark Kincaid in this. Hopefully we get Kirby Reed back. It would just be so perfect to do. I don't see them going a Scream 4 type of route. I honestly see them doing the Ghostface cult. I see them doing that, and I'm thinking this is going to be the last Scream for a long time, if not just for good, just because this is the perfect way to wrap up the franchise with Kevin Williamson and Sidney Prescott. And you know, I think that this right with Kevin Williamson and Neve Campbell, I think this one right here might be one of the best Screams in the franchise if they do it right. That's just me, you know, hoping that it's that good. But yeah, guys, comment down below what you all think about everything we just talked about. Do you think it's going to be a Ghostface cult, and do you think Stu Macher could return in Scream 7? Let me know down in the comments. Unfortunately, this is the end of the video. I want you guys to hit me up on my social media at ILIKESCARY on Instagram, ILIKESCARY_ on TikTok, Brandon on Facebook, ILIKESCARY on Twitter, and yeah, you all right there where it says subscribe next to it. Click join and become a member of the channel. I want you all to watch some horror movies. Stay scary out there. Peace. Until next time. Ha 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 ha!